Yeah, I did my makeup real cute today. Like, I decided to do the little white eyeliner. And so, yes, honey, I'm cute. I'm cute. I'm cute. Don't let them play you. Do not let them play you. No. When you know you this fun, like, babe, can't no play you. Period. Okay, let's get serious. Okay, so now this topic is more about like progress and discipline and like habits and kind of just like productivity. And so the number 6 lesson that I learned in 2020 was that there is a process to everything, literally everything. A process to become successful, a process to healing, a process to whatever you are trying to achieve or obtain in this life. There is a process, okay? And you cannot rush that process unless you want half-ass results. You're going to, if you're gonna half-ass things, you're gonna get half-ass results. If you're going to try to rush things, you're gonna get a rush job. But if you want things that are done fully and cooked, like, baby, when you cook something, you know, there are microwavable things and there are oven baked things, and something about cooking things in the oven just tastes more richer and sweeter and better than something that's popped in the microwave and cooked in under 3 minutes. No, we want things that are done in a process. We want things done that are done well, you know? And so I believe that taking your time to embrace the process. It may not be the most comfortable place in the world. It may not even be the most enjoyable place in the world, but you have to look at it from the lens of this is part of the journey I'm on to get to where I want to be, to get to where I want to be as far as my finances or my success or my healing or my wholeness. Whatever it is that you are looking to obtain in this life, there's a process. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Word to my homie Nip, rest in peace. And also, one thing I also learned with that lesson is, you know, sometimes we feel like we want to hurry up and get to a certain place only to end back at square one because we did a rush job or that we moved way too quickly. But you have to realize that this time will pass anyway. So might as well use that time wisely. So use that time to be intentional with your craft, or be intentional with doing the work to heal, or being intentional with your family, being intentional with whatever it is that you know you need to do as far as, you know, getting to that place you want to be. So there's a process to everything, okay? Oh, this was like one of the biggest things that I learned in 2020. There's so many big things that I learned, but I feel like this was a message that still reigns true for the rest of my life, is to be overdue, okay? Be overdue. We are human beings, not human doings, okay? And so I had to finally get to a place that I do not need to perform in order to make it. I don't need to perform in order to be whoever God has called me to be. I just need to be. I just need to be. I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to be anybody else but who God has created me to be. Okay? And I just need to work in my overflow. When I am being true to myself, when I am honoring myself, my truest self, all of these things that I am will just naturally flow, and I will be able to achieve the things or see the things that I want because I'm just being who I am. I'm being how God has created me to be. And, you know, I think a lot of us have this nature, this mindset to do because grow up in a society where you're told you need to do this and that and this and that in order to become this, that, and the third. Or you have to, you know, have a house by a certain age, or you have to get married at a certain age, or you have to do this job or make this amount of money, and you have to do. And you're burnt out, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're not happy, you don't have any peace, and you're wondering what all of this work I put in for was for. Like, what was it for? When I could have just been myself, I could have been who God has created me to be, and walking in that, I would have been able to see the things that I know my heart desires, because God has placed desires in your heart, and in order to get to that place, you just have to be that. Like, God created you a certain way because he knew he needed to create you in this way so you could be and see the things that he already has placed in your heart that you desire. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I really had to get to a place of learning to be overdue, being still, being myself, being one with God, being in alignment in my purpose and the things that God has created me to do. Because when I start trying to perform and do for worldly approval, that's how you get burnt out. That's how you get tired. That's how you get exhausted. And that's how you lose the passion behind whatever it is that you're trying to do, but when you are able to just be yourself, be loving, be, true to yourself, or be creative, be who it is that God has created you to be, you'll start to see the things that God has already destined out for you, period. Now, contrary to what I just said with number 7 is, there are some things we do have to do. Okay. I know that's very contradicting. You're like, Chiamaka, okay, what you trying to say? You just said, I just need to be. Now, we do have a nature that can go against God and go against our higher self, right? We have to actively choose to be, and in that we're having to do certain things. So if you know that you love to paint, well, you can't just sit and just the paint brush will paint itself. No, you're gonna have to get up and go buy the paintbrush and get up and paint the canvas. There are some things that you have to do in order to get to a certain place. So what I'm trying to say is, narrow is harder, but it is the way towards success. If you're trying to get to a place in your life, you have to do the work. You have to do the work to heal. You have to do the work to see, your finances increase. You have to do the work, in order to grow financially, or to grow in YouTube, or to grow wherever you want in your life. You have to do the work. There's discipline. There's habits that I've been trying to learn and implement in my life. And those habits are garnering, they are kind of guiding me through my path, guiding me on my path to success, or guiding me on my path to healing and wholeness. And so, and this will lead me to my next point, which is number 9, is balance is everything. Like, there is balance in life, and that's one of the biggest things that I've learned in this season, or in this life, really, in my walk, is that there's balance to everything. There's a spectrum of so many different things, but finding that balance between the two things that can exist. Like, and that's another thing. I think that's a bonus. That's a bonus lesson. 2 things can exist. I'm gonna just add that. That's a bonus, okay? 2 things can exist. So you can be overdoing, but you can also do the work to be disciplined and have habits, and those things can exist, and that is what you call balance, honey. Okay. And just in everything in life, there's balance. Like, if someone upsets you, right, you can either not say anything and shy away and just kind of let people walk all over you, or you can be on the other side of the spectrum where you pop off, go off, and cuss people out and let them know they can never disrespect you again. Now, those 2 may not garner really good positive results, but I believe there's a balance in being able to, yes, don't shy away, don't sit back and let people treat you however, but don't go off on people, don't cuss people out. But I think there's a balance in being able to speak up for yourself and to let people know, like, hey, this thing that you did hurt me. Being able to express yourself, but doing it in a loving way. And so I feel like that's a balance. And honestly, this leads me to my next point, honey. But I want to go ahead and close this chapter because I feel like that was, lessons in itself about productivity and just kind of finding the balance in things and learning to be, but also do. And just really understanding that this is part of the process to wherever you are trying to get to.